Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. My name is Mark, and we will be watching the Lions today take on the Scarlets at Emirates Airline Park in Johannesburg. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Yeah, and immediately I'm going to say what are your predictions? What are your thoughts on how the game's going to go? Who you're supporting? Who you're backing? You know, Lions are looking to make it 4 wins out of 4 for South African teams this weekend. They've named quite a good side today. Just running through it now. I'll run it through with you. We've got in the front where we've got Steve Satole, PJ Buerta, and Ruan Dreyer. Locks positions, we've got Ruben Skuman and Reinhard Nothnagel. In the loose forwards, Jaco Kriel, Darian Lane Landsberg, and Emmanuel Chituka. Nohamba starts at number 9. Hasn't he been fantastic this season? Jordan Hendricks at 10. Edwin van der Merwe on the wing with Rabs Matwane on the other side. Marius Lowe and Henko van Wyk in the midfield. And Quain Horn, who's also been a fantastic find for the Lions, starting at fullback. Looking at their bench, they've got Yaki Fasaki, Jean-Pierre Smith, and Asanati Kabakanya. Then Ruan Fenta, Sibusiso Sangweni, Andre Warner as the scrum half replacement, Gianni Lombard as the fly half replacement, and Xander Duplessis. So Lions have got quite a good good amount of options in that fly half position at the moment between Jordan Hendricks and Gianni Lombard. Both of them doing very well so far. So yeah, very good to see from the Lions in order to have those sort of options available to them. But yeah, we're about to get underway with the game. We've got the Scarlets walking out here. Yeah, just waiting on this. Looking at the crowd that's gathered there. It's not too big a crowd. It is a Sunday, of course, so it's not a big. It's not a big day for rugby fans. A lot of people like to have a braai on a Sunday, and unfortunately, that does play a part. Also, if you've been to Ellis Park in recent years, it's not exactly the easiest thing in the world to go to a match. So fair play to all those fans who've got there. And here come the Lions coming out here. Just reading these comments here. We've got Dylan saying Lions by 20. Yeah, I like it. I like the score prediction there. If the Lions don't defend like the Bulls, they won't make it. Yeah, I mean, the Lions' defense this season has been very good under new defense coach Jacques Fourie, obviously a stalwart of the Lions team. And since he's come in, I'll tell you something, he's really made a very big impact on this Lions team. And I think a lot of their recent success can come down to him. So he can certainly be proud of the way he's managed to get this team working together. And yeah, just also looking at the Lions captain, Reinhard Nothnagel. He's had a great season so far as well. I mean, this Lions team in general have been very good. And I think that's been much to the surprise of most people around South Africa and indeed me as well. It's not a team I would have thought would do particularly well this season, given the fact that they've got so many youngsters and so many inexperienced players, but they've really risen to the challenge, and for that we really do salute them. I think they're meeting now for a moment of silence. And please do let me know where you'll be watching from. Yeah, Jean-May also saying that it's so dumb that Henko van Wyk got banned for 3 weeks just before the game. So slimy from the URC. Well, yeah, you do have to question the decision there. It's a big thing that I will question is Henko van Wyk's ban. I think it's very harsh when you think that Antoine Dupont's challenge on Colby, obviously from the international window, that was overturned when it was taken to the commissions. And that was when Colby landed on his neck, and Henko van Wyk's challenge, player landed on his back. Well, he obviously went into the challenge. I mean, he tried to mitigate his challenge going into it. So you have to wonder as to how it's consistent. So yeah, I think very poor decision from URC there, that Henko van Wyk should be missing this game. But nonetheless, Lions are going to have to make do without him and have to wait. And I'm sure they'll try and appeal the ban at some point. But the problem is, as you say, doing it so late, it's impossible to have got him ready for this game. Grant just saying, we have found the Lions' second fan. All Lions fans are part of the Pettit family. You're very funny saying there's no Lions fans. Tell you something, I do remember watching this game here. You see my shirt is in gold. Yeah, that's when we won the Currie Cup final in 2015. I do remember a packed Ellis Park Stadium there, of which we're all Lions fans. So there's a few of us. Just don't worry. I just think one of the main reasons you don't see that many fans in the stadium is also due to two reasons. One, Ellis Park is very far away from a lot of the fan base. And two, it's a huge stadium. Don't underestimate the fact that Ellis Park is the biggest rugby stadium, dedicated rugby stadium we have in the country. And even a small 10,000 people could look like 500 inside the stadium. So, yeah. But look, not going to take it away. This stadium has not got a lot of fans in it today. But those that have come through are making sure that their voices are heard. And we are just about to get the game underway. It looks like Lions will be kicking off from left to right. And yeah, we're going to have hopefully a great URC clash here between the Scarlets and the Lions. And yeah, Lions definitely looking to try and end the weekend on a high for all South African rugby fans. As the game gets kicked off, there we go. It's a deep kick from Hendrickse. Lions do well to take it down. They've been told to use it. Taking a while to use it, Scarlets, indeed. But eventually the ball does come out. And it's not out, so Edwin van der Merwe will recollect. He tries to go through, and he's found a gap. Edwin van der Merwe is through. He's going through. He's trying to find support. Support's not arriving quick enough. He's gone down just before the 5-meter line. Lions in the early stages of this game could get a try here. It's going very well so far. Nahamba shifts it out. It's Chituka. Nahamba takes it out again. Oh my word, big hit in the midfield there. But Lions do well to drive forward right on the Scarlets try line. Now the Lions, it comes through to the number 8 again. He's driving through powerfully, but just short of the line. Scarlets not releasing this ball very easily. Nahamba looking for options. He goes blindside. They're not able to go over with the forwards. Nahamba tries to get quick ball again. Looks like Notnagel's calling for the ball. He gets it, but he can't get through. Nahamba's now looking still. Nahamba gets involved in the ruck, so it's going to be just a drive straight from the ruck for the forwards. They go over it. They're over the line. I don't know if they put it down. The Scarlets players are claiming that it's held up. The referee's blown his whistle. I'm not sure what he's given. I think he's given a penalty against the Scarlets. Phew. My word, what a start to the game we had here. Lions doing very well to just apply early pressure on the Scarlets. There was a penalty for offside, and now they've opted to kick it into the corner, and they're going to try and, assume, get a maul going to get over this line here. But a fantastic start for the Lions. Very, very good play from Edward van der Merwe just to get this entire thing started. Received the ball on the halfway line after the up and under, and, well, from the box kick, really. And managed to find his way through and run through the gaps and just tackled right on the 5-meter line. So, yeah. And the line has taken. It's more or less set up. Looks to be well set. Scarlett's trying to do it, but they've twisted the maul the wrong way. It's an advantage to the Lions. It's going to be a penalty. Indeed. Scarlett's collapsing that maul illegally. Or I think maybe, I think I might have been misreading that. I think it's actually been knocked on. Indeed, it was knocked on. So, missed opportunity for the Lions. They ruined Drea, the player that they're looking at. I think in the maul, it was knocked on. They were trying to get a swing there. The Lions almost getting past the Scarlets, but yeah, Ruan Drea unfortunately knocking that ball on in the ruck, in the maul. So, although I don't know, I mean the ref is, I don't know. I think he might have said it's been knocked on by the Scarlets. I don't know what's happening here because the ref did definitely point to an advantage to the Lions, but then seemed to have gone back on that decision. I think he might have got a call from the touchline ref saying that it was knocked on first. So, yeah, they've given it as a scrum, but nonetheless, a great start for the Lions. Hopefully, we'll see a good scrum from them as well, starting with the first scrum of the game. Just going back to these comments here, I've got a few comments here. People aren't used to rugby in December. It's just not a Lions game, but not just in the Lions game, the Bulls, Sharks, and Stormers game. Yeah, it's true. It's late in the year for a lot of people, and also a lot of people doing Christmas saving, you know. We did also just have Black Friday and all of that, and I know a lot of people spent. They don't have money anymore. So, yeah, getting to the stadiums is difficult. December rugby is still very weird. It is, but it's still quite nice. I mean, most people are starting to wrap up the year, and you've got some sport to watch and relax with. So it's fantastic. And it's just the Sunday rugby, like this later Sunday rugby, that I've also still got to get used to. Oh my word, like a hot knife through butter. Go Lions at the game. Fantastic atmosphere at Ellis Park. Everyone should be here. I fully agree. Everyone get yourselves to the game if you can. But of course, yeah, you don't have to, just as long as you're supporting the Lions in spirit. That is, of course, if you are a Lions supporter. Sean is saying that is a penalty. Yeah, you do have to wonder how that happened. Mark, when is the line out? You should call it lion out. Oh, that's a shocking joke. That is a shocking joke. Nonetheless, Lions have received the ball after Scarlets got it out of the way from the ruck. And the Humber takes it in the midfield. It goes to Jordan Hendricks. He tries the good ball there. Almost a decent line. There's an advantage for a high tackle. This comes to Drea now. Drea knocks it on again. Oh, dear. So they're going to come to a penalty here for a high tackle. I think Lions are looking like they're opting for the posts. They are indeed. So they're going to try and get some points on the board for this pressure. Yes, Jordan Hendricks is going to have his first shot at goal. So, yeah, early opportunity for the Lions here. But the Scarlets unable to get out of their own half here. So Lions doing very well to apply the pressure. So I want to know of all the people watching, who you're supporting, what do you reckon the scores will be? Do be sure to predict on the little voting poll that we've got going. And yeah, also, did any of you watch the games yesterday? What do you think of the Bulls game, the Stormers game? Oh my word, Grant! I'm seeing some shocking jokes here. The Lions are, the Scarlets are lying on the wrong side of the ruck. Oh dear. Ah dear. Seeing some interesting comments there. Yeah, Lions do get that penalty over, by the way. So 3 points to the Lions. So Lions got the first points on the board and doing well for their money. I see there Felix saying, you're taking those peptides. I'll tell you something. It's not Stephen. I am Stephen's younger brother, Mark. So Stephen is currently at the golf. He's at the SA Open at the moment and part of the media team there. So... yeah, you will hear back from him, I'm sure. But from the kickoff, Nahamba manages to get a good kick deep into the Scarlets' half. They miscontrol it. Now Scarlets go for the up and under. It's a good kick. Nobody's really claiming it from the Lions. Lions eventually get it through the locks. Skuban's running up the midfield there. Did quite well there. Nahamba now waiting for the ball. Comes out in the halfway line and he's... Oh, my word. It's knocked... That's backwards, apparently, from the Lions. Ref deems it backwards. I think that's... Scarlets might be a little bit angry about that. Comes to Stisatole. Does very well to drive through, but I think he loses the ball in the tackle, and so does Scarlets. So Scarlets knock it in. I think they're going to come back for the first knock-on from the Lions. Yeah, indeed. So irritating there from Stisatole, not able to hold on to that ball. Someone's saying Jordan to score a try. Yeah, I think Jordan Hendricks is going to be the difference today. I'm a Sharks supporter, but I support every South African team where it's a good man. It's always what the South African sides to do well. Not a Lions fan, but supporting them fully this game. Appreciate it, genre. Yeah, we always want our South African teams to do well. Awesome, Mark, enjoying the coverage. I'm glad that you are enjoying the coverage, Felix. Yeah, let me know your thoughts on the game. And if in case any of you are looking for a way to watch this game with us and you're not able to because you don't have certain subscriptions, etc., do look in the description of the video, and you can quite easily find out how you can watch this game utilizing one of our partners, that being ExpressVPN, and you can do that as well. And be sure to place some bets using BetCozo as well, one of our partners as well. Mark, what is our starting Springbok backline at the World Cup with every player being fit? It's far away, hey. It's very far away, but one should probably still... I mean, look, the Springboks do like to stick to experience most often. We don't like to have debutants and inexperienced Springboks players in these major tournaments. We do like to have an experienced side always. So what you're probably seeing at the moment is more or less what you're probably going to see next year. Just going back to this game now, I'll come back to that. But Scarlets doing very well to run through here after the scrum. They're just inside the Lions 22, just outside of it now. Lions doing well to defend. They've knocked it on in the tackle. So knocked on, and it's a scrum to the Lions. So the Lions doing very well there to get that defense done. The Scarlets weren't lying when they said that. I'm so bored of these jokes, Dylan, already. My word. Oh, dear. Ah, dear. There's a lot of dad jokes going around here. But yeah, going back to that Springbok backline that I reckon you're going to see, I think if everybody's fit, you'll see. I'm sure. I mean, you can't deny the class of Faf. As much as a couple of games this year, he's not been fantastic. You will probably see Faf be the main scrum half. So you'll see Faf de Klerk, Andre Pollard. The wings are a more interesting thing. I think Mapimpi will still be backed on the wing, even though we've got Curtly Aronson coming through as well. But yeah, I reckon you'll see Faf de Klerk at 9, Andre Pollard 10, Mapimpi 11. The centers will be Delande Am. Other wing will be Colby, and I reckon your fullback might well be Willemse rather than Willie Leroux. I think you'll see Willie Leroux come off the bench, but I think Willemse will be backed as the fullback in the Springbok side going forward. If everybody was, of course, not injured. Lions need to make a statement in today's game. Yeah, and indeed, Nduna, they do need to just get a win here. The Lions, if they do get a win, are going to be looking very, very good for their money. My word, by the way. That is one of the best kicks I have seen, not just this weekend, but quite genuinely in all of URC. That is unbelievable from Jordan Hendrickson there. My word. So Lions win the scrum penalty. Jordan Hendrickson on the 22 kicks it all the way to the opposition 5-meter line. What a kick. That is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. What a kick. My word. Lions scrum looking solid indeed. Yeah, doing very well to win the scrum penalty there. Agree with that Bok backline. Yeah, it's you won't see too many changes. The Springboks aren't known for changing the lineup all that much. What a kick. Yeah, indeed. It was an incredible kick. So Scarlets with the throw-in apparently because they deemed the ball not to have... Well, anyway, so Lions are doing well to counter this maul. It's very, very small space for the Scarlets scrum half to kick the ball out. Not able to. Edward van der Merwe now receiving the ball. I think he's going to look to try and break the line again. Not able to this time. Lions receive the ball just inside the Scarlets half. Spreading it through the back line now. He's found a gap here. Oh, it's a beautiful inside ball to Rubs Makwane. He's still stepping. He's done brilliantly. What a try for the Lions. Rubs Makwane doing very, very well there to score that try. What a try. Unbelievable movement from Rubs there. My word, and the players are very happy. And it all starts with the centre just putting the pass around the back there. Rubs Makwane doing very well to score there. Lions all well for their money in the lead with a conversion to come 8 points. Oh, my word, what a pass. And then Rubs just dancing through the team. Oh, I tell you, incredible to watch. Love it. Lions starting this match very, very well so far. Now, hopefully the Scarlets don't get the Lions shift. I'm reading so many poor jokes at the moment. My word. Shocking, Grant. Shocking. Jordan must have had his Aromat today because with Aromat, it's unbelievable. Yeah, no, Jordan Hendricks is playing very well so far. What a try. Go Lions. Yeah. All going in Lions' favor so far. Doing very, very well to assert their dominance. The bad jokes will not stop. Well, I'm in for an afternoon then, I see. Jordan Hendricks here with the conversion attempt. Oh my word. Missed it big time. Shocking kick. Pulled it to the left. Disappointing, but nonetheless, Lions still looking good. Mr. Hendricks just needs to get that out of his mind as quickly as possible. That Aromat gives your age away. Oh dear. Dear. Dylan, yes, Albert, yeah. So the ball goes up. It's a short restart from the Scarlets, but Lions do very well to regather, and it's Yaku Creel who tries to drive it up there. The Humbers now receiving the ball. Lions just inside their 10-meter line. So they may well look to run this rather than kicking. The Humbers got the ball now. Shifts it off to Jordan Hendrickson. Jordan Hendrickson does opt for the kick in behind. Straight down the middle of the park into the 22. Scarlets now looking to come forward. They're opting for the up and under, I think. No, just a deep kick into the 22 for the Lions as well. Pretty much the exact same kick they just received. Lions now looking to go both back. Quayne Horn kicks it pretty much straight back. It's just a game of tennis right now. Looking left, looking right. And indeed, again, the ball comes back from the Scarlets into the Lions 22. This time it's a bit of a much further kick. I think it might go over the line. Oh, it's a great kick. In fact, it ends up. Jordan Hendrickson are now looking to kick from inside of 22. Ball's going towards the middle of the park, but now Scarlets looking to run. Scarlets did win that kicking battle there. Scarlets now looking inside Lions, 10-meter line. Doing very well there. Edwolf van der Merwe and Nohamba just to stop that. I actually don't think it was Nohamba, sorry. But Scarlets now with possession. Lions not able to rack over there. Apparently advantage for not rolling away against the Lions. Scarlets now with an advantage to play. Great tackle by Nohamba there to stop the ball. Lions doing very well to hold on there, but they're going to come back for the penalty for not rolling away in the middle of the park. So Scarlets may look to go for posts here. So it might well be the first points for Scarlets. Yeah, Steve Satoli there being the one penalised for not rolling away, unfortunately. So saying the Lions are doing so well lately because the front row isn't wearing underwear, which means the back row sees more. Oh my word. I had to stop reading that for after a while. That is shocking. That is absolutely shocking, Dylan. Surrounded by these terrible jokes. Yeah, Scarlet's opting to go for the post here. It is right in front. It's about 38 meters out, but they should be fairly comfortable for them to get this over. And here comes the kick attempt. And it's unsuccessful. Pull to the left. So Lions get away with it. And, yeah, so still just stays at 8-0. And Duna, they're asking, what's your take on the Spoon Corsi situation? Well, unfortunately, if you've noticed the channel, we haven't really spoken about it too much because we're just waiting on information at the moment. Well, whatever happens there, you just hope that it's going to end in Spoo's safety and everything with regards to that. It's a bit of a confusing situation because we know that Spoon Corsi's had some problems this year. So yeah, but we just do hope to get clarity on that situation. Hopefully Spoo is indeed contacted and able to be found. And yeah, wishing him all the best there. So back to the game here. Lions trying to ruck over. Yeah, doing very well to try and compete with this ball. I think it's more or less playing the ball on the ground, but the ref is deeming it not so. Scarlets retain the ball. But huge hit from the Lions forwards there. Getting forward now on the Scarlets. Scarlets now being tracked back very, very much so. The Lions doing very well to defend high up. And again, North Nachel dragging him up very well there. Scarlets being hit big time by the Lions players there. Huge answer. Scarlets playing any good? They're not playing badly, let's put it that way, but Lions certainly are the better team. Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of poor defense from the Scarlets when Rubs went through and scored that try. Because he did dance his way around 6 people, basically, and at some point you've got to ask whether somebody managed to get there. Ball goes up and under from... Oh, my word, that's shocking. Ref, you can't do that. Ref, thank you. My word. Nohamba fully right to complain there. As he tried to pass the ball out, one of the Scarlets players just dips his leg out and tries to kick the ball out of his hands, which is completely illegal. But ref almost deemed it to play on. Luckily, I think he got a call from the touchline judge saying, no, you've got to come back for that. So, thank goodness. So, yeah, Jordan Hendrickson now with the kick for the line. He did a fantastic kick earlier. Let's see how good this kick is now. Well, it's a big kick again. Oh, great kick, Jordan Hendrickson. It's not as good as the previous one, but it's still just inside the Scarlets 22. I mean, borderline, this penalty is borderline a professional foul. You know, it's completely illegal. It's stopping the Lions' attack. It's very naughty there from the Scarlets player. So he's very lucky to get away with that without at least a warning or something along those lines. You could have been looking at card territory. But PJ Buerta puts the ball into the line out. Lions manage to secure the ball. It comes to the center. Nohamba takes it out quickly. It's PJ Buerta who's managing to find a bit of space. Oh my word, he's still going, PJ Buerta. He's got to the 5-meter line. Nohamba trying quick ball. Nohamba goes himself. He's over. Oh, he's not over. Oh my word. Oh my word, what happened there? That was unbelievable defense from Scarlets. Nohamba was pretty much over the try line and then he was dragged back. Oh, my word. I haven't seen that in a while. Namba's having a good laugh, but he was almost over the line and then just completely, basically picked up and carried backwards. It was a penalty against the Scarlets, though, so we're coming. So Lions got a penalty on the Scarlets' 5-meter line. Scarlets looking quite tired after these early defensive play here. Oh my word, just watching this piece of play. At some point, you need to watch this replay. It is hilarious. Namba diving for the line and then... and then just the number 5 for the Scarlets just picks him up and says, no, you don't. And just... ah, my word. Great show of strength there. On-field ref wants to play on you, I know, a bit shocking. And we're having a water break, one of these things that I cannot stand. Yeah, having a water break now, so still 8-0 the Lions. Lions very much in the valley for their lead and should have scored a second try now, but somehow it managed not to. I'm just rewatching that try now. Fantastic, fantastic try. Oh my, Dylan, I'm not even gonna read that comment, Dylan. Not a chance. So many poor jokes being issued here. I mean, I appreciate the creativity, but my word, that's a shocker. Hugh, they're asking which SA city is this? I keep forgetting. Just Joburg. It is indeed Joburg. Ellis Park, or Emirates Airline Park, as it's currently called, is situated in Johannesburg. This is, of course, the same stadium where the 1995 Rugby World Cup final took place, where Nelson Mandela lifted the trophy with his Springboks, winning the World Cup in '95. Exceptionally famous, of course. Yeah, and Lions, that's where they play, week in, week out. And that's where I've been many a time with season tickets, etc. My boys. Albert, they're saying, coming from the cold British winter to this heat at altitude is a challenge for the Scarlets. Indeed it is. They're looking very tired, and it is very hot. So it's a new thing for these Pro 14 players, having the South African sides here. And, well, not Pro 14, but, you know, the change into the URC. For all these teams, because they're not used to the changing weather, because you're going to the northern hemisphere where it's winter and coming to the southern hemisphere where it's summer, of course, and it's hot in South Africa as well, because at least the northern hemisphere summers are relatively cool in those countries that these clubs come from. So they're having to really adjust to the heat and the temperatures. The same for the South African sides. They have to adjust to the cold when they go up to the north. It's not something they're used to, but it certainly makes for an interesting dynamic in the whole league. Yeah, Scarlets have been here all week, and they should be used to the temperatures a little bit by now. But of course, the one thing that doesn't play into it is the altitude of Johannesburg, and that's something that it doesn't matter if you've been there for a week or not. It's a huge fitness thing, and that's a big advantage that these Lions and Bulls sides have always had over multiple years. Is usually they are very fit teams because of training at altitude. People don't quite realize the effect that the Highveld has. My word, what a scrum from the Lions from the penalty, and he goes over. It's a fantastic try from the Lions. My word, the brute force of that scrum was huge. Absolutely. I mean, they borderline could have gone over the line by themselves just in the scrum, but Chituka opts to take it out the back. That is Emmanuel Chituka, of course, the much better brother, managing to power over there with the ball. You have the altitude plays a huge part for Lions and Bulls, and the fact that you train at altitude in the Highveld. And teams often struggle in the last 20 minutes. You always find in the last 20 minutes in Loftus Versfeld and Ellis Park that teams tend to struggle fitness-wise, and that's where Lions and Bulls can certainly punish you. But Lions doing very well so far. 21 minutes in, and they've got 15 points on the board after Jordan Hendricks slots the ball over for the conversion. Great try for the Lions. Lions very much well worth for their money at the moment. Just cruising right now, all in control. Sea level's a bit higher than anything in the British Isles. Indeed it is. Seems like the Sharks have inner turmoil. They don't seem to be personalities, apparently. That's what they reckon there is at Sharks. Grant saying there's the much better brother. Is that a dig at Stephen? No, I was talking about the Chituka brothers, of course. When both were at the Lions, and then Vincent went off to the Sharks. And yeah, now look who's suffering, eh? That's all I'm saying. Sharks in a bit of turmoil there, not enjoying life as much as they could have. Emmanuel scoring tries for the Lions, and oh dear, Lions messing up at the scrum at the line out here. But Rubs McFarlane doing very well. So I used the wrong click. But Rubs doing very well there to rip the ball in the tackle. Now it comes to Emmanuel Chituka. Lions coming up inside their own half, doing well to get some ground. Now Humber taking the ball out here. He's coming to the back line. They're opting to go through. They've grubbed it through. Chituka's chasing. I don't think he's going to get there, though. No, indeed. Ball goes Scarlets there. They're going to come back for a knock-on from the Scarlets inside it's just inside their own 10-meter line for the Scarlets. I do apologize for the connection issues, everybody. It's just having a couple of internet problems recently. But we are back, so please don't leave. If you see that the stream goes down, be sure to just come back. We will still be here. It's just, yeah, sometimes every now and then it just buffers for 30 seconds or so, and we will be back. And I think we are indeed back now. So apologies for that. But yeah, Lions now with a scrum just inside the Scarlets half, and we've known how massively dominant this Lions scrum have been so far. So I think this should be a big scrum to the Lions. Andrea not happy with the distance between these two scrums here, saying you can't actually get down. Yeah, so just resetting the scrum now. Now, how am I going to put the ball in from the blind side? About to get the ground scrum going here. Crouch, bind, set. It's a big hit from the Lions. Lions starting to get a bit of dominance in the scrum. They're moving forward. And it's a penalty against the Lions, apparently. Don't quite know how you can have so much dominance during the game and then penalize the Lions for wheeling in the scrum, apparently. Yeah, I think it's a bit of a harsh one. There was definitely some go forward from both sides of the scrum. So if you're going to penalize anybody, you know, it would surely be the Scarlets. But anyway, Lions will not root to will not think on that too much. They'll just try to get the ball back. But Scarlets, meanwhile, take advantage of that. They put a very, very good kick into the Lions 22. It's a great kick, and that's really now going to hurt the Lions a bit, as they will feel aggrieved that they didn't win that penalty there. They definitely were the dominant scrum, but Scarlets now with their own line out inside the Lions 22. Tian asking, why are the stadiums so empty in SA? Well, there's multiple factors for that. A, economy. People, it's expensive to go and travel. And even if the tickets are cheap, it's expensive to get there. Two, Ellis Park, especially being one of them, it's a huge stadium. You know, you go look at overseas stadiums, you know, they're looking to 5,000 to 15,000 max for most of these stadiums in the URC. Whereas South African stadiums, I think the smallest one for the club rugby is 50,000. Or it's 45,000 at Loftus or whatever it is. So there are much bigger stadiums in South Africa. And then also, it's December. People are not used to playing rugby in December and watching games. And then on top of that, we've just had Black Friday. We've just had all these things. I'm just giving all these excuses. Meanwhile, Scarlets here with the ball inside the Lions 22. They've just run it across the field, trying to get the first points on the board here. Doing quite well to pass through the lines here. They are making a bit of ground here. Lions defense need to wake up a little bit here. There's a few numbers on the far right here. They're going to try and utilize it over. Edward van der Merwe makes the tackle, though. Good tackle. And it's been knocked on by Scarlets. So Lions doing very well there to defend at the end. So great from Edward van der Merwe just to stop that attack. Richard's here. Hey, all, where are the Lions on the log? Lions currently, I think if the score stays the same, I think they're going to be about 6th or 5th. And that's still with a game in hand on some teams above. I think if Lions win their 2 games in hand, this one being included, they should find themselves in the top 4, which is exceptionally good for this Lions team, who have not had much investment in terms of big-name players as much as the other South African sides. So, yeah, great performance from the Lions so far this season. Yeah, indeed, Dylan just confirming their Lions are currently 7th on the log, but I think that's not taking this result into account. I think if they win this, they do move a little bit higher. The Lions only have 2 fans. No one comes from Joburg. I mean, Grant, it's just not true, though. It's just not true. I think the biggest thing with the Lions is that ultimately, I mean, if we're going to talk problems in these unions, you've got Bulls, which is in a nice area of Pretoria, and it's very easily accessible. Those fans have been there for years. They've enjoyed a lot of success. They are owned by 2 billionaires. That's dollar billionaires. That's who they have investment-wise. They've put all these things in place. You know, that's the team that has a lot of investments. You look at the Sharks, Similarly, they've got huge investment from overseas and from locals. It's a very rich team. They're able to get big name players to attract fans, and they've got a great brand which they've built up over the years. Stormers, again, it's the stadiums are in a fantastic area. It's easy to get to. It's not that being that expensive. Most people's ticket prices are not that bad at all for all the other unions. When you compare the Lions to all of that, the problem is that Lions have just as many fans as the others, but Lions management in the last 10 to 15 years have been not fantastic in terms of a future, I suppose, because they've been very money hungry. I mean, if you go and look at the ticket prices that we've been paying a lot, it's stupid prices. And then on top of that, the biggest problem is that Ellis Park is in a really poor part of town. And when you want to go to a Lions game, you have to travel to an area of the city that you do not want to find yourself in. And that often results in a lot of fans not going. I think if you found that if Ellis Park was suddenly picked up and plonked down in Midrand, which is a much nicer area of Joburg, I think you'd see much bigger attendances at these games, because also it'd be much easier to get to. Just there, seeing there, Logan saying, yes, I'm a Lions fan, so yeah, I grant you wrong. There's at least 3. Contender saying, which position outside 10 could Jordan Hendrickson cover? Maybe lack of versatility is what make him go down in pecking order, with Libok able to cover the whole backline and Hussen covering 13 and 15 too. Well, Jordan Hendrickson does cover 15. He can play fullback, and he has played fullback before, and that's what Lions were going to try and do, actually. Between Marnie Libok and Jordan Hendrickson, right before Marnie Libok took a little bit of right before Jordan Hendrickson, I apologize, took a little bit of an injury, as they were going to try both of them at either fly half and at full back, just to try and see how it all works, because it was going to be something very interesting. Meanwhile, Lions in the attack here through Crane Horn, just in the half, just inside. I'm just trying to see where in the pitch we are. We are just inside the Scarlets half. It's coming through. It's a big hit there. Just going back to this, yeah. But Jordan Hendrickson can definitely play, at least. He can definitely try his hand at fullback, and he has done so a couple of times, not too badly. This is a running thing between me and Stephen, and now you've been included, Mark. Yes, Grant, I have heard, apparently. Rugby makes December even better. Indeed, it does, Dylan. You look different, but I'm Lions easy W. Yes, I do look different. That's because it's not Stephen, in case you were thinking it is. It's Mark. And yeah, Scarlets now on the attack here, because Lions did knock it on, but Scarlets running into the Lions half, and my word, they found space, and they're just getting through here. It's inside the Lions 22. Lions finally make the challenge, and they're getting over it, but not able to get the ball back. Scarlets just need a spread here. Edward van der Merwe's come across from his other wing to try and cover with Rubs. Scarlets still with the ball here. Lions got to be careful. No, that's just, as I said, Lions got to be careful not to give away a penalty. But Lions, there you go. They just concede the penalty now. But I think the referee wants to have a look at this legality. But they will come back for a penalty if it's not actually a legal try, because there was no running away from the Lions in that ruck there. But I think the ball was picked up illegally from the Scarlets player to get over the line. So the ref's just going to have a look at this. Hi, I'm from Benoni, Gauteng, South Africa too. Well, not South Africa too, but South Africa. Well, nice to know you from Benoni. Christo, Contender saying, I hope that for Champions Cup, Sharks play a game at Moses Mabhida Stadium. Maybe Box should play games in Durban there too, since Box games are very popular. Should Lions play a game at Soccer City? You know what the thing is? I'd say no to the Lions at Soccer City, because, yes, it's much nicer, it's much easier to get to Soccer City in terms of, and it's also, I mean, for that's in Soweto, it's a much nicer. It's much nicer going to FNB Stadium than it is to Ellis Park in terms of the surrounding areas, and it's easier to get to, but it is still quite far for a lot of the fans in Lions. You got to remember, most Lions fans come from the eastern side of Joburg. That's where a lot of the Lions fan base are found. It's the east, and the problem is that Ellis Park is in the center of Joburg, which is not fantastic. And then if you want to go to Soccer City, that's further west, obviously towards Soweto. So not that easy for a lot of those Lions fans to get there. Sharks playing a game at Moses Mabhida Stadium. I don't see why not. I'm still confused why you have this beautiful stadium literally right next to Kings Park, but they choose to play in Kings Park instead. But yeah. Then saying that maybe Box should be playing games in Durban. We see the biggest problem with Box not playing in Durban is usually the attendance, because for all that Box games are popular there, that often don't actually sell out in Durban. So just to confirm, TMO says it's not a try, so they're going to come back for a penalty against the Lions for not rolling away. So Scarlets still not got points on the board here. Coming back to these comments here, Daniel. Oh, hello, Danielle. Sorry. Oh, hello, Mark. Lions will get a boost at the half. Yeah, they indeed will. As you mentioned, unfortunately, the stadium is now situated in a low and scaly area. Yeah, it is. I don't enjoy going to Ellis Park anymore. It's very dodgy, especially if it goes into the evening. And a lot of fans don't like that. And a lot of people say safety-wise, they just don't want to go. And I think that's the biggest problem with Ellis Park, is that it's a really good stadium once you're inside the gates. But outside the gates, it's not fantastic. No daylight by the Scarlets. Yeah, I mean, look, it's much of a match. The Scarlets now setting up Maul from this from the line, and they're over. Easy as you want. Scarlets with the try now. Scarlets coming back into this game with the try, with the conversion to come from the Maul. Just coming back here. I'm from Gauteng, Roodepoort. Yeah, indeed. Roodepoort's not too far away from where I am. The Lions wings rubs the Scarlets the wrong way. Oh my word. Grant. Yeah. Scarlets now with that try there. It's Dan Davis with the try. Yeah, Lions just I think they'll feel aggrieved to have got to this position, because it did all come from a knock on that they conceded on the halfway line, and then just Scarlets managed to find their way through, and then eventually winning the penalty, which resulted in the line out and the subsequent try that they've just scored. So not too much dominance from Scarlets to have got this try, but certainly made sure that they took advantage of the opportunity. Sharks playing at Kings Park is like Harlequins at Twickenham. Stoop in Edinburgh playing in a stadium next to Murrayfield. Yeah, I think the big difference there, of course, is that you go and look at the Harlequins and Edinburgh, where they play, with regards to being very close to those huge stadiums in the national teams. Those stadiums are massive compared to their own home stadiums, which are not that big. So they fit small attendances of like 20,000, 15,000. So you don't really want to be playing in Twickenham, which is a 80,000 seater stadium in England, if you're only going to have about 15,000, maybe 20,000 people there. The difference with Sharks is that Kings Park's a huge stadium anyway. Moses Mabhida and Kings Park are very similar in terms of attendance size. The difference is the one's a hell of a lot nicer than the other. So that's my argument, is the fact that if you had a smaller stadium right next to a big national stadium, I've got no issue with staying in your own small stadium and not moving to the big one. But when you've got two big ones, play in the nicer one. Just by the way, from the kickoff there, Scarlets doing very badly there. Jordan Hendricks had put a deep kickoff, and scrum half of Scarlets dropped the ball, so it's going to be a scrum to the Lions, just outside the Scarlets' 5-meter line. Danielle saying the Lions will become beasts in the second half. Indeed, they will. The Scarlets had to wing that one. Dylan, you're shocking. Jean saying most screw throw I've seen in my life. Yeah, problem is they seem to be very lax on this on throw-ins these days, or on lineouts. And Danielle, where's Stephen? Stephen is at the SA Open currently, also representing Forever Sports in the media box there. So he is at the SA Open. If you go and follow Footwitch Crew, and I think if you follow Stephen's personal socials, you'll see some of that as well. Yeah, but that is where he is at right now. SA Open, of course. So Lions now with the scrum. The scrum not really moving. So Nahamba's been told to take the ball out. Nahamba's going himself. He darts it through to, oh my word, Lions lose it in the tackle, and it's knocked on. Oh dear. Dylan saying Kings Park is my fave. I must be honest, I'm glad you do think it's your favorite. Personally, I think it's very ugly when it's right next to Moses Mabhida. You've got a beautiful stadium there, and you've got Kings Park, which is very old, stock standard rugby stadium in South Africa, which has just got those metal roofs and things. So, but people do like going to Kings Park, so, fair play. Who scored for the Scarlets? It was Davis. Davis scored, number 7. He went over with them all. Yeah. Durban Nix 101 saying the seating at Moses Mabhida is so far from the field, not great for rugby. Sharks tank is steep and close. It is true. I will say that about Moses Mabhida Stadium. Of course, it is made to accommodate an athletics track, so you are a bit further away from the field. But all I do know is that you can. I think there's a way that they do it with the field. I think they can set the field closer to the one side, so you can like jam pack the one stand basically to accommodate for fans there. But yeah, I do see your point. It is nice to be able to analyze the whole game from a high point and a bit closer to the field. So yeah, Lions, unfortunately, giving away a penalty at the scrum there. So Scarlets get away with that mistake earlier. Danielle saying, my favorite is the DHL or East London. Well, that's a Abeja, actually. Actually, that's Port Elizabeth. I'm being stupid. East London. What stadium's in East London? I've forgotten. But yes, the DHL stadium, that being Greenpoint or that being Newlands? Because Newlands, of course, is no longer in service, unfortunately. And Cape Town Cape Town now play in the Cape Town Stadium, or DHL Cape Town Stadium, whatever you want to call it. Scarlets with the ball now, trying to form an attack. They're coming through the midfield. Oh, they've managed to break through the Lions. Not doing particularly well so far, but Scarlets still attacking, just making it inside Lions 22. And it's an advantage because they're not rolling away, the Lions. The ref's not going to give a yellow card. For what? That is very harsh from the ref there. I'm Lashe, sorry. With the yellow card. He's the replacement for Henk van Beek this weekend due to his ban. But he's been given the yellow card, which I think is exceptionally harsh, given the fact that there wasn't necessarily a big scoring opportunity here. And slowed the ball down, but didn't mean to. I mean, it's harsh to give a yellow card straight away for that, given the number of penalties that the Scarlets gave away in those first 10-15 minutes. Nothing was given as a result. It's a very harsh yellow card. It's a very harsh yellow card. So Lions now down to 14 men, which is not going to suit them for the rest of this half. They've only got 2 minutes left. They just need to try and hang on and just see the half out. But, yeah, Lions dealt a tough one there by the ref. But Scarlets, meanwhile, have kicked it for a line out. They throw the line in, but Lions have tried to compete it, and it's a skew throw. Thank goodness. There you go. So, Scarlets are going to be... I think actually he's given us the knock-on from the Scarlets, but nonetheless, it's going to be a scrum to the Lions. So, yeah, the Lions get away with one there. Your least favorite is Loftus. It's safe, but it's very small. Yeah, I mean, Loftus is actually a very, very good rugby stadium. Very historical, of course. And I'll tell you that the nice thing about Loftus is the ease of going to Loftus. It's very easy to go to Loftus. And that's always a big thing that plays a part in stadiums. And I do think just for that simple reason there, Loftus is quite good. The only thing that I will say against Loftus that is shocking is the bathroom facilities, of which they have so few. You have lines longer than the field trying to get into those bathrooms. It's shocking. Isn't the Buffalo Stadium the EP? I think you are right. Loftus has so many car theft incidents. Yeah, I mean, that is a thing, but it only happens at the bigger games. I think that happens, and that's unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be different in Ellis Park or the subsequent areas as well. East London Stadium equals Jan Smuts for rugby, Buffalo Park for cricket. That's correct, I think. Yes, Mike, you are correct. Scarlets have got the ball again now. After the clearance from the Lions. They're on the halfway line. They're trying to spread it to their wings, yeah. Crane Horn doing well to get over. He managed to release the ball. Scarlets now unable to get forward here. Lions doing well to defend so far. They just need to get a half time. Scarlets still with the ball now. Trying to come through the middle, but Lions doing very well to close the gap. That's an intercept. There you go. Fantastic from Nohamba there. Managed to see the ball there. Now Lions are on the attack. It's Edwin van der Merwe. He's trying to run through. He's just on the Scarlets 10-meter line. Lions looking to play rugby here rather than put it out. It's shifted all the way out to Rubs Makwane. And he stepped out. Oh, no. So that's going to be half time. Oh, dear. He had a lot of space there, Rubs, and he could have gone through. Jordan Anderson with the pass. It didn't quite get to him. It bounced just beforehand, which might have just thrown Rubs off a bit. That's unlucky there from the Lions. They almost managed to try and counterattack, but yeah. That is it. That is the half. So we're going to go into half time. Oh, no, we're not going to go into half time because there was a penalty against... Oh, there you go. Out of nowhere. Completely, sorry. Yeah, as I was saying that Scarlets were giving away a lot of penalties and things like that. So yeah, Scarlets with a yellow card. It's their fly half who's off. It was a high tackle on the Humber after that... intercept. I think it's a very harsh yellow card, if I'm honest as well. But you know what? Ours was also, the Lions' yellow card was harsh. This is a little harsh as well because he doesn't continue through. He does have his arm there going for the ball, and then Nahamba does manage to get to the ball beforehand, which therefore causes his arm to go around his neck essentially. But nonetheless, 2 soft yellows for both teams, so I think both teams will feel it's more or less fair, so it's fine. Lions opting to go for a penalty kick as a result of that now. They're going to look for posts here. As Jordan Hendricks said, just in front of the halfway. So not the easiest kick, but it is in front of the post. So as long as he keeps it straight. He does keep it straight. He's happy. He's in. Boom. So Lions go into the half. 18 points up to Scarlets 5. Both teams with yellow cards right at the end of the first half there. Just going to go through the comments before we just take a small break. The worst thing about Loftus is the unnecessary large amount of Bulls fans. I fully agree. Especially when you see some of them. They're very interesting looking fans. If you are a Bulls fan and you're watching, I'm not causing any offense, okay? I remember the darling of Dispatch, Darnie Gerber, playing for the EP in that stadium. Giving my age away, my favorite stadium used to be the Butter Rasmus in the old PE, close to the field, and spectators are more than loyal. Yeah. There are a lot of great historic stadiums in the country, but yeah, we only play a few of them now. Nonetheless, that is halftime. I will see you in the second half. Be sure to come back and chill here. Otherwise, you can have have some chats in the comments and things like that. I'm going to go quickly get a drink, take a short break, and then we will be back. I will see you in the next half. Hello. Yeah. Hello. We are back. And yeah, got the second half coming up for us now. Let's just look at a couple of the comments that I saw beforehand. The grounds of the British and Irish Lions SA tested in 1974. What a change. Yellow at altitude. Not quite sure what you mean by the yellow at altitude, but yeah, the grounds since 1974 have definitely changed quite a lot. Yes, there's no doubt about that. Both teams coming out now for the second half. They are running out into the field. Lions fans trying to get close to the action there. We're getting some high fives from the players. And yeah, we've got a second half of action coming up. What do you predict will happen in the second half? You know, do we think that Lions could extend this lead more? Do we think the Scarlets are going to be affected by that last 20 minutes thing at altitude that all these teams seem to get? Are Scarlets going to come out fighting? Of course, both teams playing with 14 men. How's that going to affect the game right now as we come out of this for the second half? Yeah, let me know. Yakakul there just talking to the troops, even though they're not his anymore. They are North Nachels. Jordan Hendricks are there also getting there. So Scarlets should be kicking off now. The second half. They'll be playing from left to right. Lions playing from right to left, which is always the... Again, I always seem to find Lions score more on the left-hand side of the field than they do on the right-hand side. So this should favour them a little bit. Albert saying Lions have got this. Yeah, I certainly hope so. They've certainly been the better team this entire game so far. It's just a matter of not trying to convert those points. I think Lions should really be looking at a bonus point victory here, hopefully. They need 2 tries in the second half to get there. I think that's what they should be aiming for here. It's a low-flying start from the Scarlets. Very well picked up from the Lions there. Now, Humber opts to kick it out from his 22. It's a good kick. It's not out, though, unfortunately. I thought it was. Now, Humber does very well to chase, though, to make sure that the kick isn't done in vain. And Lions now pressing Scarlets on the halfway line. Doing very well to stop the ball there. So, decent exchange for the Lions there. They'll be happy with that exit. Yeah, Scarlets trying to mount an attack here from the halfway line. Lions just forcing them back here. Scarlets now opting for a kick. It looks to it up and under on the far side of the field. Edward van der Merwe was under it, but he lost it. It's been locked forward, and now Scarlets come away with the ball. They're trying to attack. It's come to one of the locks. The lock's trying to go in, but they've lost it, Scarlets, and now it comes back to the Lions. It's Crane Horn who's kicked it forward long, very far into the field, but Scarlets have managed to get back there to cover. Crane Horn's chase is good, though. He's putting pressure on the kicker. Kicker messes up completely. It's a grubber in the middle of the field. And now it comes back to Nohamba, who's trying to get an interesting kick. It's a great kick. My word, what a kick. Great kick from Nohamba. Just in front of the halfway line for him. Gets it to bounce just in front of the just before the line inside the Scarlets 22. So great territorial advantage for the Lions there. Great little piece of play from Nohamba there. So Lions, yeah, starting the second half well, I think. Just Edward van der Merwe unlucky to have knocked that on. But otherwise, doing well there. Scarlets will be upset that they couldn't capitalize on this. They did manage to get a bit of a breakthrough, but just completely messed up the pass. And Crane Horn did very well to recover. Just watching this Nohamba kick again. There's a great little chip. It was basically just a chip in behind. One bounce in. And here comes the Lions off of the line-out. It's an interesting line-out move. PJ Boertz just put it to the front and then received the ball back and ran himself. They're right into the Scarlets 5-meter line. Skuman there with the ball. Nohamba now passing it off. Looks to be Emmanuel Tutuka, who can't get forward. Nohamba again. Spreading it to the back line. Jordan Hendricks, a great pickup there. Marius Lowe with the pickup. He plays it back to Jordan Hendricks, who plays it to Edward van der Merwe, who plays it out to Crane Horn, who gets... Oh, no! Oh, my word. It came to Rabs Bakwane, but he knocked it on right on the try line, basically. Oh, dear. Lions should have scored there. That's twice. Both in the first half, they should have scored in the first 3 minutes. And again, Lions should have scored again here. But Rabs, unfortunately... Look, it wasn't a great pass, but unfortunately knocked it on. Oh, dear. Lions... Great pickup by Marius Lowe there from Jordan Hendricks' pass. And comes back to Jordan Hendricks and then to Edward van der Merwe, and just needed the last pass to go. Last pass was actually fine. It was a little bit behind Nohamba, but it was fine. He should have caught that. Ah, dear. Lions will be disappointed not to have scored there. Very disappointed not to have scored there. Nonetheless, it'll be a scrum now, and the Lions have been very dominant in the scrum. So, We'll see if they can try and do something from the scrum. You're right on the Scarlets 5-meter line on the far side of the field, on the touchline there. So just waiting for the scrum to take point here. So I'm just waiting here. It's an advantage to the Scarlets off of that scrum there. But they'll come back for the penalty there. I think it was a penalty. Collapsing the scrum apparently from the Lions. So Lions not able to get the same sort of thing they were trying to do earlier. And yeah. Fortunately, giving up the scrum penalty there. I think there's a lot of grass being kicked up there. So I think what might have happened is a couple of players might have slipped on the grass there, just looking there. Yeah, you can just see that the grass just gives way, and that's what causes the collapse. So a bit harsh on the Lions, unfortunately, but nothing much you can do. So Scarlets do manage to exit just before halfway line there. It's their throw in, their line out now. The ball goes in. Lions challenge, not able to get there. Scarlets now attacking through the forwards. It's a good tackle from the Lions. They've presented the ball well for their players to try and get over, but not able to. Scarlets now trying to utilize the back line a bit more. Comes to the full back. Lions doing well to stop that before it can get going. Lions line now coming forward. Ref has called time off. I think he sees a player who's taken a serious head injury, and they're just having to stop this right now. Oh dear, this does not look good. It's the Scarlets lock. He's just ref just seen that there's an injury right in the middle of that ruck and said, no, let's just hold on, player. Yeah, he's not really moved much at all since going down. Yeah, I think this might well be a sub immediately. He's not happy about life. He's very much out of it. Just watching what happens here. It's just a swinging arm, unfortunately, as he goes in. He just takes it straight to the face, and I think that's just sort of put a bit of a concussion on. It's not a penalty for the Lions at all. It's just an accidental one. Unfortunately, you can't really blame the Lions player at all here. They are going down into the tackle. He is diving down. It's not high at all either. He's just trying to wrap his arms around and just unfortunately catches his head, and he's not happy about life now. There are 3 medics around him. He's receiving the attention he needs. But just meanwhile, just a stat here. The Lions' 33-25 victory at home over the Dragons last weekend ended a 2-game losing run in the URC. And I think it was a bit harsh because, you know, that first game at home for the Lions was against Ulster, who are obviously one of the best teams in the whole URC. And it was 39-37, and they did so well that game, and they should have won. They just lost it right near the end. It was very unlucky, but they could have beaten the URC favourites, essentially, at home, which would have been a huge, huge victory for the Lions, but unfortunately not able to win that one. And then the following week against the Stormers again. Lions did very well so far in that entire game, then just lost in the last 10 minutes. So unlucky for the Lions. But nonetheless, they are still doing quite well this season and are well on track to get the win here today so far. And Danielle is back apparently. Good to see you. So we're just waiting now. It's just an injury for the Scarlets here that we're just waiting on. There's a bit of a head clash to I think it was it the manual Tituka, or was it I think in fact it wasn't. I think it was just want to confirm. I'm gonna get there eventually. Apologies. Yeah, it was I think it was Landsberg who got his arm onto the Scarlets player. It's Scarlets player that's down, by the way, is Sam Lousi, who's down as a result of that challenge. So we are just waiting here and just looking at some of the highlights of the tries. great first try from Razmat Kwane, who really danced his way through the Scarlets team. It was a great offload by Lowe as well. The center, line center. And then just looking at the Scarlets more try as well, which did very well to get them back into this game a little bit. And that was Davis that scored that one. Yeah, indeed. He's going off. It looks to be a blood sub, I think. He's got a blood nose. I think he might well have broken his nose, you know. So not happy. There's a lot of blood in the shirt. Shame. I think he might well have broken his nose. Yeah, so he's going to be out of this game. I don't think he's going to be coming back anytime soon. Shame. He looks very much in pain there. So just a scrum though still. Just the Scarlet scrum. Because there was no advantage to anybody. So they're just going to continue on with a scrum. At least he used his head. Oh dear. So the ball is into the scrum. Lions doing well to try and do it. They're trying to get a little bit of advantage, but not able to do much. Scarlets take the ball out. And then spread it out to the back line. It's a good maul. It's a good move. He's not been tackled for some unknown reason. The Scarlets going to get through here. He passes back infield, but they make the tackle on the line. Great defense by the Lions in the end, but somehow let the Scarlets through the lines there. In the end, they did manage to defend it well between Crane Horn and Rubs. But just looking here, it was a great little backline move. They managed to take 3 defenders out and suddenly had space, and Edward van der Merwe had to turn and just allow him to run through. But Crane Horn doing very well to... not Crane Horn, in fact. No, it's Edward van der Merwe who did very well, in fact, in the end to make the tackle. PJ Bursha puts the ball in. Lions managed to win it. They take the maul straight, and the maul is motoring forward. They've already moved forward about 5 meters, and the Scarlets collapse the maul, so Lions doing very well there to exit. Fantastic play from the Lions. Very, very good play. They win the penalty just about 15 meters away from the try line. So Lions get away with one there. And Scarlets will rue their missed chance now. Jordan Henderson now looks to kick down the field. He kicked from a similar position in the first half. And made it all the way to the 5-meter line in the Scarlets' half. So let's see how well he can do this now. It's a huge kick, but not nearly as accurate as I think he was hoping. It's just about halfway line in the Lions half. So, yeah. Nonetheless, Lions will be happy with having exited there, not conceded points. And they've just got their yellow card back. So, Lions now back up to 15. And they're going to try and utilize this little, 1.5 minutes now before the Scarlets fly-off comes back onto the field. So, Lions with the line out. Comes to Nahamba. It's come to a backline move. Goes to Jordan Henderson, who spots a gap. He tries to go through. He's unfortunately taken down just inside the Scarlets' half. Nahamba now with the ball. Passes it through. Lions doing well. Nahamba tries to dart himself. He saw a gap, but it was closed just as quickly as it opened up. Lions still going now. It's the one back onto the field. Nahamba now getting the ball. It's slow ball, unfortunately. Comes to Jordan Hendrickse. He shifts the ball over. Emmanuel Chatuka finds himself in the wing. He's trying to bash his way forward. He's lost the ball forward. Shocking. Knock on from Emmanuel Chatuka there, unfortunately, which stops the Lions' attack. Yeah, dear. Just watching here. It is a small gash, one might say. It is. You guys are shocking with your jokes. Mark Sony, they're saying if it was from the other team, he wouldn't take it lying down. Oh, my word. I didn't realize I went to a comedy show, people. Shocking. So Lions, unfortunately, knocking it on there in their attacks. It's now Scarlet scrum and just past their own 10-meter line inside their half. So Lions going to try and put a big scrum here. Lions haven't had scrum dominancy as they did in the first 25-30 minutes. Since about the half-an-hour mark, they've not been as effective in the scrums as they were. So they hopefully try and change that now. And they can launch it into hopefully a counter-attack, maybe. Scarlets, on the other hand, will be looking to try and get this ball out. I'm sure they'll be looking to kick this ball as far into the Lions half as possible and just get some territory here. Scarlets still with a man down. So Lions going to try and make use of that. But I think this will be the last piece of play without him. He will come back, I'm sure, after this. Grant, I'm not even going to read that comment. Not a chance. Scrum gets going. It's very evenly matched. Yeah, nothing really moving there. Scarlets take the ball out. Creel's over, but he's off his feet, unfortunately. Scarlets not quite sure what's going on, but opting for the box kick now, eventually. And the box kick comes. Goes straight up. It's an up and under. It's a good chase by the Scarlets. Edward van der Merwe is under it. He receives the ball well, takes the tackle. He's reversing very well, trying to dart his way around. Gets away from the tackle, but only backwards. But nonetheless, managed to regain the ball for the Lions. Lions set up at the ruck. Landsberg with the carry there. Comes back to Jordan Hendricks off the ruck. He kicks it far into the Scarlets field. It's right up the middle of the field. Scarlets fielded well inside their 22. Now looking to come back. It's a deep kick into the Lions half. Lands just past the 22. Lions take it up. It's Crane Horn now. Crane Horn kicks it. It's also straight down the center of the field, but not inside the 22. So Scarlets might look to run it. It's an up and under that they opt for, but it's straight up. So he's not going to be happy with that. Lions doing well to field that ball there. Comes back to Edward van der Merwe, who's got a bit of space to try and play here. Not able to get away from his man. Scarlets down off their feet. Nahamba now with the ball. There's advantage to Lions. Jordan Hendrickson now shifting the ball along. It's Emmanuel Chituka who's running very quickly down the middle. Gives it to his center. The center's running through. He's trying to get his hands free. He does indeed eventually. Jordan Hendrickson now with the ball. Unfortunately, runs into a bit of contact. They set up the ruck now. There's no advantage. They're going to come back for the penalty, unfortunately. The ball was not coming out of that ruck. So Lions with a bit more freedom to have played there. And I think Scarlets will now get their yellow card back off the field as well. So no points scored for either team with the yellow cards. Yeah, Jordan Hendrickson now going to try and kick this ball deep into the Scarlets half. He does have a lot of room to play with. Penalty just about halfway line and literally in the middle of the field. So hopefully he can try and get this kick right up into the Scarlets try line. Jordan Hendrickson is one of the best line kickers in the country. Not his best kick, but still a very good kick nonetheless inside the Scarlets 22. And Lions will look to now try and hopefully score a try here. So Scarlets still actually, yeah, I think that man should have come back onto the field. I don't quite know why the yellow card is still showing. He's definitely should be back on. Lions take this line out. They get through. They're not opting for the maul. They play it through to Marius Lowe, who crashes the ball up. Doesn't manage to get much ground. Comes to PJ Buerto in the middle of the field. Lions doing well to shift their players a lot. Somebody almost offsides there. You could have called it. It comes, oh my word, great run for the center here from Lions. Lions have made a replacement. I've made a couple of replacements. I'll talk you through those ones now. But Jordan Henderson trying to find some space. Managed to beat one player and then another, but and gets taken down eventually. Comes to Emmanuel Chituka. He's a little bit isolated, but Lions do well to receive the ball back. Lions just making ground slowly but surely, just making moves. Warner is onto the field now as well. Nahamba is off. Warner has taken it in. But I think the ball does eventually come out. Edward van der Merwe does well to regather and recollect. Lions doing very well to get that ball there. Warner with the ball now opting to manage his troops. They're slowing the ball down a bit. It's a poor pass in the end. Warner now with the ball. Shifts it out to his forwards. It's Smith. Who is this now? It's a tackle. Lions not really getting forward too much now. It comes to Yaku Creel, who spins in the tackle. Lions doing very well to get to the ball. It's offside, surely, ref. I think they might see an arm here. No, not yet. Warner still managing his troops. It comes to Jordan Henderson, to Marius Lowe, who opts to the grubber in behind. Rubs is trying to get there. But he doesn't get there in the end. And Scarlets managed to put the ball down. It'll be an in-goal dropout. So unfortunately, Lions not able to score the try there. So they come away with nothing there. Unfortunate for the Lions after all of those phases they built up. I'm just reading some shocking jokes in the comments. I'm not even going to participate this in these conversations here. Although Dylan does add a comment there saying, unlike ESCOM. Well, luckily we do have an inverter to make sure that we are always streaming when the power does eventually go, and ESCOM is not our friend. So we'll always be here to keep you in the action. Meanwhile, Lions now getting the ball after that restart from the in-goal area. Then into the Scarlets half already. Comes to Landsberg. Landsberg has gone down as a tackle. Lions are past the 10-meter line inside the half. It's a shocking pass by Warner, who's not had a good game since coming on. It's advantage to Lions now for a high tackle, I believe. It comes to Edward van der Merwe, who tries to start around the outside, but not able to. Oh, it's a huge hit as well coming in from Warner then. Edward van der Merwe taking big exception to somebody here. There's a little bit of a scuffle breaking out here. I think it's very much handbags. I don't think anything will come of it. But Edward van der Merwe certainly taking exception to the Scarlets player. Durban Nick saying, can all the SA teams have a winning weekend? Even my Sharks won. Geez, last weekend was shocking for the Sharks. But yeah, hopefully we can see all the South African teams win. So Lions are currently in the driving seat here, so they just need to try and convert and make sure they get this over the line. I do really want the Lions to try and score another 2 tries. I'm waiting for the last 20 minutes, as we do know it's a big thing with altitude. So I'm hoping the Scarlets will be a little bit tired towards the last 20 minutes, and then you'll see a bit more of a free-flowing rugby from the Lions. But right now it's a bit choppy and not too much success for either team. Nonetheless, we're going to come back for a penalty here for the Lions. I think it'll be interesting to see what they do here. They should surely aim for this. Edward van der Merwe is still not happy with the player, pointing at him from his side, just saying, okay. So I think he's pretty much saying, I've got your number. I'm running circles around you. So Edward van der Merwe certainly taunting the Scarlets, which is a brave decision from him. Nonetheless, Lions with the penalty here. They're going to opt to go for the line and try and get a scrum set up. Not scrum set up, but a throw-in set. Throw-in, I keep saying throw-in. Line-out set up right on the 5-meter line. His time is back on now, so Jordan Henge aims to kick the ball into the line. Indeed it does. Good kick right on the 5-meter line. So Lions now trying to finally get some points on the board in the second half. And please do get your predictions in for who's going to win this game. And because I'm going to start a new poll at 60 minutes, so I'm going to end that poll a little bit. It's long, deep. Oh my word! What a brilliant line out from the Lions. Textbook training move. Jaco Kriel is over, right pretty much underneath the post. Beautiful, beautiful move that was. Lions faked the jump at the front. They then launched a 3-pod at the back into the air. Jaco Kriel came running around from the faking pod. And as soon as the player received the ball in the pod at the back, just shifted the ball straight to Kriel, who had nobody in front of him, and just ran straight through the middle. Fantastic training ground try there from Kriel. That is a beautiful try there. Unbelievable. It's nothing better when coach, and I'm sure when you saw the coach's box here, they're going to be ecstatic because you can see how they are so happy. The training ground move worked. There's smiles everywhere. Nothing better when that sort of thing works. Brilliant little move from the Lions. And I love that sort of ingenuity. It's just always catches the opponents by surprise. Lions doing brilliantly. Now 3 tries behind their name and 25 points. 25 points to Scarlets 5. So Lions very much in the driving seat and just need one more try to get to that bonus point victory right now. Of course, they just need to make sure they do get the victory in the end, but one more try and they will get that bonus point. Jaco Kriel celebrating before he'd even put the ball down. I love it. Christo saying, super great commentary. Keep it up. You're doing great. I enjoy it. Well, thank you very much, Christo. I do appreciate the comments. Meanwhile, the rugby has just kicked off again. Scarlets kicking it just in front of the Lions 22. Lions trying to go blindside here, but taken down just as quickly as it started. Warner now at the ball. Comes to Landsberg takes it down. And the ball is somehow shifted. I think it was lost in contact. Now Scarlets with the counter-attack. They're shifting it across the line. They've got numbers here. Lions trying to defend, eventually making the tackle. It's a great tackle on the line there. And it does get taken out. Fantastic tackle from the Lions in the defense there. Well done, Lions there. Fortunately, I think it was knocked on in contact earlier, but then Scarlets tried to spread the line. And he's had a fantastic game today with the exception of his yellow card. That is, of course, Sango Lashe for the Lions, filling in for Henko van Wyk, who got his 3-week ban. He's played very well today. It's very upsetting that he got that yellow card because it was very harsh for not rolling away. But nonetheless, he's had a very good game today. And Lions will certainly be happy with that because they're going to need him for the next 3 weeks whilst they wait for Henko van Wyk, of course. So Lions, meanwhile, take their throw in, and it's a shocker. Scarlets managed to get the ball after it goes over the top. Scarlets right on the Lions try line. They're spreading the line. There's gaps here. Edward van der Merwe is trying to get there and not going to be able to. Lions go down. Scarlets put the ball down in the corner. A shocking throw from the Lions hooker there. Went straight over the pod. Scarlets saw it, and it's Thomas Rogers with the try in the corner. Yeah, shocking ball in. I think it's from PJ Buerta. Yeah, he's still on. Shocking throw. And all Scarlets had to do was recover the ball and just shift the line. Lions couldn't get across in time. And yeah, Scarlets dotted down in the corner. Disappointing from the Lions just having scored that try. So now it's pretty much all for nothing. But they are, of course, one try closer to that bonus point. But Lions need to wake up there. That's poor, unfortunately. Scarlets now with the attempt for the conversion. They haven't converted any of their points in any of the tries. They've scored 2 tries now. And they have missed a penalty as well, is what I was meant to say when they haven't converted. Missed all their kicks, but finally one goes through. Never mind. Nope. Scarlets still have not got a single kick over today. They've only scored 2 tries and not converted any kicks. So, yeah, still only 10 points for the Scarlets, Lions, and 25. So, Lions still very much in front, but they need to score another try yet to make it three scores away from the Scarlets. But we are now entering into the last 20 minutes of the game, which usually means that the visiting teams will start to tire a little bit. Indeed, I am going to end that poll now for who's going to win the clash. And Lions winning 97% of that vote. So, yeah. I'm going to start a new poll. I'm just going to quickly create it here. I'm going to say the question is going to be, oh dear, and the restart from Jordan Hendricks is going to go straight out on the 5-meter line. So it's going to be a middle of the field scrum to Scarlets. But I'm going to start a new poll here. I'm just going to say... how many points? How many points will the Lions win by? And I'm going to put in brackets if they should win, just to be safe. And I'm going to say 5 points, 10 points, 15 points, and plus 20 points. So do go and participate in that and go and let me know what do you think is going to happen with regards to the final result and how much Lions should win by, if they should win, of course. Yeah, just going back to the comments here. Oh, and well done to Blitzbokker, SA Rugby Weekend all around the world. Yes, indeed, the Blitzbokker winning in Dubai. I think that's the 3rd or / 4th one in a row that they've won in Dubai. So fantastic then. Blitzbokker's also not been doing particularly well recently. So good of them to go and win. And Lions managing to overturn that scrum in the middle after that poor restart. Winning the penalty, the scrum penalty. Scarlets deemed to have collapsed the ball. And Jordan Hendricks looks to be having a shot at goal, I think. No, it's not. They're going for the line. I think they almost talked about it, but Jordan Hendricks are going for the line now. I think they have to go for posts now. Yeah, they do have to go for posts. I think they originally gave the decision to go for posts. So yeah, Lions will be having a kick at goal. As we see another, and Klabakanya is now on for the Lions. And yeah, his first contribution is to win a scrum penalty. It wasn't actually his side that collapsed. It was Jean-Pierre Smith's side that did collapse. Nonetheless, Lions' new pack winning that scrum. And Jordan Hendrickson now with an opportunity to extend the Lions' lead to 18 points, which would make it almost 3 scores. It would make it more than 3 scores, or slash three tries to get in front of the lines. So probably the intelligent thing just to do here, just to build a bit of a gap, just to keep the points ticking for the Lions. But obviously it requires Jordan Hendrickson to slot this ball over. And Johnny Lombard is on the bench, and I think you will see his running come onto the field just in a bit. Jordan Hendrickson kicks it. It looks to be wide. I think, yeah, it's wide of the mark. Not able to convert. So Lions not able to take advantage of that penalty. That's not too upsetting. It was just wide, unfortunately, from Hendrickson. It wasn't the easiest kick, but yeah, had the distance, but just to the right of the post. So a 22-meter dropout for Scarlets now to get the game going. And it does look like Johnny Lombard's going to be coming on soon. Scarlets restart. It's a very deep restart. It comes to Crane Horn. He's been a little bit quiet today, but of what he's needed to do, he's done very well. Kicks it back into the opposition 22, and the opposition opt to kick it out from the 22 as well. Stays infield. It's fielded by Jordan Hendrickson, who kicks from his 22-meter line. Don't know if he's looking for the line here. It's a huge kick. It's a brilliant kick. My word, this guy can kick, hey. Tell you something, what a monster kick it was. From just inside his 22, just onto the Scarlets 22-meter line as well. And it'll be a Scarlets throw on their own 22-meter line. So great territory gain there as a result of Jordan Hendrickson's kick. So done very well there. And I think if there's one thing I can say about all those flyers in the country, Jordan Hendrickson's kicking, in terms of going for the line especially, must be the best in the country. I mean, yeah, Marnie Libok will have a say about that, but I think his line kicking is unbelievable. So Scarlets kick the ball back into the Lions half. Crane Horn kicks it back to the Scarlets 22. Scarlets now up to try and kick from their 22. He's not gone out. It's bounced just in front of the Lions try line. Crane Horn sends it off to Jordan Hendrickson, who tries to aim another kick now. It's a big launching kick. It's not going to go out. It does bounce just in front of the Scarlets 22, and it's just a game of tennis right now. The Scarlets now up to kick as well. I think he's outside his 22, but it doesn't end up outside the field. So now Jordan Hendrickson lines up a line kick, I assume. He kicks it all the way back into the Scarlets 22. It's just back and forth tennis right now. The middle of the field, they must be hating life, because another kick goes in and they basically stop moving. They're just like, we don't actually care. And eventually the ball does go out. It's not a fantastic kick from Jordan Hendrickson, but it's good enough. I think the middle of the park, they were getting very, very bored. Have we? Somebody just said we'd hit 23,000 subscribers. Have we hit 23,000 subscribers? We have indeed. Congratulations, everybody. We are 23,000 subscribers on Forever Sports. Well done, everybody. Thank you very much for subscribing. We move up in the world. I've only got water in front of me, but I'll take a sip of my water. So congratulations to 23K. A great little move there from Lions now. Lions with the ball. Warner shifted out to the middle. They're trying to go out on the outside. It's Manuel Chituke. Tries to get his arms free. Passes the ball there, but it's knocked on by the Scarlets as they try to intercept the little pop pass. So it... Woo! Apparently didn't touch it. So Scarlets with the ball now, trying to counterattack from within their own half. They're spreading it through to the centers. Comes to the wing. Lions doing well to defend this so far. They make the tackle eventually, but it's taken a while to get it down. The ball gets knocked on from Scarlets. Lions still with the ball now. Now it's their turn to counter. It's Marius Lowe who kicks it forward. There's nobody home. It's going to be a sprint now. Marius Lowe's going through. But Crane Horn's coming even quicker. Crane Horn gets there. Oh, my word. Lions just on the line. I think they've knocked it on. They're trying to win the ball over. I don't know what's happening. My word. I think everybody's confused as to what's just happened. Marius Lowe gets the ball after Rubs managed to get the Scarlets player to knock it on, and he chips it behind, and nobody's home, and he runs in for it, and then I think it's Warner actually who was bolting in from the end there. Warner gets the ball. I think he knocks it on just in front of the line. Indeed, he does. So it's going to be a scrum to the Scarlets on their 5-meter line, but great chase by Warner there. Almost doing everything to get there. I don't know how he managed to get there in front of the Scarlets player. He was so far behind. My word, so close. And Klabakanya lined up that guy like a bucket of KFC. I think a lot of people insult Klabakanya a lot. And they shouldn't be, just because he's got a bit of a stomach on him. Because he is as fit as anything. And what that stomach does allow him to do is win his scrums. He's a great player. I'm a big fan of him. So, yeah. keen to see what he can keep doing here for the Lions. Officially on the biggest rugby channels officially one of the biggest rugby channels on YouTube. Yeah, we are these days. There aren't too many though to compete, obviously. But yeah, thank you guys, everybody, for watching. I do think we are one of the biggest, if not the biggest, watch-along channel in rugby in the world. So that is very cool. So do stay here. Do be sure to keep supporting us. I do believe out of all the watch-alongs that happen, we are the biggest. So yeah, do keep it coming. Yeah, Crystal, they're saying congratulations, subscribers must reach 30,000. It's not reached 30,000 yet. It's only 23,000, but we will get to 30,000 soon. Across all the channels, we've got more than 30,000 at least. But yeah, we'll get there eventually. We'll get there soon. Just tell your friends. Just subscribe. Create some accounts. Subscribe. Do things, you know. Durban Nick saying, must catch Kiwi lads, though. We can do it. He's a good commentator. You're also passionate. Yeah. Look, Kiwi lads, I think they've got more subscribers, but generally we tend to have more people watching each time. I don't know. It also depends on the game, of course. But no, we appreciate everybody who does their watch-alongs. You know, we all support each other, so it's always good. So the play has stopped. I think they've just had their water break. I think is one of the main reasons why we've had such a long stoppage here. And for all that we said, there aren't too many Lions fans there. There are quite a lot. I think it's just because it's been a very hot day today in Joburg. And they're all pretty much just sitting where the shade is. So you don't really see them because all of the stadium is pretty much in the sun. So the shaded areas are actually full of people. Yeah, Dylan, not surprised. You've got 23,000 separate accounts. It's probably because everyone keeps banning you for your bad jokes. Lions trying to win a scrum penalty here on the line. Scarlets managed to get the ball out. They're choosing to run from within their own half. Marius Lowe gets across. So does Jordan Hendricks. They make the tackle. They're trying to get over the Lions. Not able to. Scarlets trying to run it out of their own half. A bit of a dangerous play right now. But eventually setting up the ruck to try and get the box kick going. Box kick coming up now. Be interested to see if this goes out or if it's they're trying to go for the line. It does go out. It's a decent kick as well. It's just about on the Scarlets, just past the Scarlets 10-meter line. Grant, again, I'm not gonna respond to your antagonizing comments. And Yaku Fasaki now finds himself on the field. He puts his first throw in, and it's very skewed. So we'll come for a scrum now to the Scarlets. Now it's very disappointing that actually, because Lions could have done something there. Lions really desperately need to get this fourth try over the line. They've got 12 minutes in which to do so. Scarlets have looked a little bit tired. Lions have been the ones attacking, you know. So the fitness has played a little bit of a role, but not as much as I think it would have. So Lions really need to try and get the air into gear to get that fourth try over the line. Because if they can, they'll get a bonus point, which is the absolute maximum that they're looking for today. So come on, the Lions. Let's get that bonus point victory. These scrums take forever to happen. Just looking at possession stats, Lions sitting with just under 60% of the possession. Q saying, sorry, got diverted. How much time left? We've just got, I think if you look on the screen, it does tell you, but just over 11 minutes left of this game to go. Scarlets now winning the scrum. They're actually getting some dominance in the scrum. Indeed, I think it's going to be an advantage to them. No, ref saying take the ball out. Indeed, 100% agree. It's just lifted on both sides. Scarlets take the ball out. It's a great tackle there from the Lions center. And again, another one. He's over the ball. Oh, and he's not able to get the ball there. So Scarlet's still with the ball just on the halfway line, spreading it through the line. Oh, a very flat pass, but deemed backwards. Scarlet's still trying to attack. Lions doing great to put some big hits here. Oh, it's a huge hit. What a fantastic hit there by Landsberg. Scarlet's trying to get through, but Lions really hitting them hard, and the Scarlets are feeling it now. Some big defensive tackles being made from the Lions here. Scarlets still opting to run with the ball. They tried a little snipe through the scrum half, but he's closed down just as quickly as he sees it. Edward van der Merwe now having to try and defend three people, not able to. Warner now misses his tackle. Now Scarlets are through. It's on the 22-meter line. It's the wings going to come through. Cranehorn comes across. Jordan Hendricks tackles just on the line there. Jordan Hendricks is over the ball. And the ball does go out. Apparently a penalty. And he's going to give a yellow card. What? What? This is absolute nonsense. So a tackle was made right on the try line by Jordan Hendrickson. He gets back up, tries to go for the ball. In so doing, the ball spills out of the ruck and goes out. And the ref deems it a penalty against Jordan Hendrickson for doing so, which he has every right to go for the ball. And then a yellow card. That is a very, very harsh decision. And now Lions going to have to finish this game with 14 men, of which one is their fly half, who's been crucial to the game so far. Just watching a replay here. Let me see if this yellow card is actually deserved. Scarlets doing very well to come up on the wing, not able to came through on the forwards. Jordan Henderson makes the tackle and they stop the replay as soon as we're going to go and see it. He makes the tackle, goes for the ball. The ball spews out due to the player trying to get the ball out of Hendrickson's hand. And then it's a yellow card to Hendrickson. Absolute nonsense. Looking at it again, Hendrickson gets over the ball. The player comes in to ruck it. Oh, I think that's harsh. Scarlets, meanwhile, trying to set up the maul. The maul is moving, but they collapse it themselves. Ball has gone out. Fantastic defense from the Lions. Great defense from the Lions. It'll be a Lions throw-in now, right on their line. Oh, my word. Scarlet's not able to convert there. So, Lions doing very well to defend that line out there. Hugh saying, was it a yellow card? Discuss. Yeah, well, the ref gave it as a yellow card. I think it's still harsh. And yeah, the thing is, looking back at the replay, Jordan Henderson does get his hands on the ball. The ball does spew, but this ball spews as a result of the player on the ground who's been tackled trying to shift the ball away. But he gave a yellow card anyway. So a bit harsh again, but nonetheless, Lions are going to have to make do. They've got 8 minutes left on the board. To try and get another try. They just won a penalty as the Scarlets were offside. So Lions doing very well there to not concede the try. And as Dylan says, all the Lions need to do now is just hold on to possession and move forward slowly. Essentially, it's what I always say. They need to play Bulls rugby. Keep it in the forwards. Just drive it up. Create a pod. Drive. Create a pod. Drive. Yeah. Grant saying, very surprised Stephen hasn't popped into this chat yet. Well, I think he's too busy watching the golf because they're right at the end of the SA Open now. So I think the final results will be looked in now. So it's the exciting part of the SA Open. So I don't think Stephen will be watching. Lions opt for an interesting line out. Ndaku Fasaki takes it up and it's trying to go in. He passes the ball back, Lions, but it's gone out, unfortunately, just past the halfway line. They did very well to go forward there, but it was very risky behavior. I'm not sure if that was necessarily the right move, but almost worked out very, very well. They just played it short. Came straight back to Yaku Fasaki. And he ran up in the midfield, but he couldn't get away from the line. Unfortunately, also, the replacement lock. Oh, he definitely passed the ball and was still in. But Scarlets mess up their own line out, and Lions get possession back again. Lions now attacking. It's Warner. Comes to Marius Lowe, who's found a gap. He tries to play it to his fellow centre. Fellow centre's also moving forward at a rapid pace. Warner now trying to recycle. It comes to the substitute. Oh, it's knocked on by the Lions in the tackle. Oh, my word. Lions just not able to hold on to this ball in the last 20 minutes. Frustrating, but Lions almost doing very well there to try and counter-attack. Scarlets are tired. Lions should move the ball 7 style. Yeah, problem is Lions are also man down now, Albert. Hugh saying, did he still have body contact on his tackled player? Totally release him. No, the release was perfectly fine. That was the thing. There was no issue with the release. I think the ref tried to deem the fact that he went for the ball and missed it, and therefore he kept going in for it. But he didn't really miss the ball, and it was only when the Scarlets player came in to try and clear Jordan Hendrickson out that he that basically the ball shifted out of contact as a result. It wasn't really purposeful, so it's a very harsh yellow card. You might say penalty, but I'm not sure I'd say yellow card because it wasn't a professional foul. Let's put it that way. Nonetheless. Oh, my word. Huge scrum from the Lions. Massive scrum from the Lions. But somehow they don't win a penalty. But it will be a Lions scrum. And Klabakanya doing fantastically there. I mean, he basically single-handedly demolished the Scarlet scrum. Just watching it again. He just takes 3 steps and just starts motoring the scrum forward. Huge power from Nklabakanye. My word. He basically took on the Scarlets pack himself, and the Lions know it, giving him huge, huge credits. It was a huge piece of effort from Nklabakanye there. And Lions now get their own scrum. Fantastic play from the Lions. Now they just need to try and dominate the scrum again, win the penalty, put it out in the corner, try and get that that bonus point try. Here comes the scrum now. Grant saying there's nothing exciting about golf. I do agree, unfortunately. Golf is like soccer, it's fun to play, but can't watch it. No, I can watch football, but I don't enjoy playing golf either. Scrum's not as big from the Lions, but they do manage to get the ball. Comes to Marius Lowe, who's been good today. Warner takes it out quickly. It comes to Chituka, who's running through. He's going to be in. Lions with the fantastic piece of play. They will get their bonus point try, and he runs in to put it underneath the post. Fantastic from the Lions. A man down, but a try up. Fantastic. Beautiful play. Came out of the scrum, went into the Marius Lowe, drove it up very well. Warner did very well to get there as quickly as possible. Emmanuel Chituka running the correct line. Warner just passing it to him. He found the gap. He ran through, and boom, try for the Lions. Makes it 30 points with the conversion to come. It should be easy. It should be 32 points to 10. Lions definitely with the win and with the bonus point now. Fantastic for the boys. So Marius Lowe goes down just after the 22, and yeah, Emmanuel Chituka just sees the gap, and Warner does very well to find him, and he gets through there, puts the ball down underneath the post pretty much. Great try for the Lions. Yeah, he might well be, but as I say, yeah, it's nonetheless, I'm not a big one for going after the ref after the game and being like, certain YouTube channels who try to go and say, oh, this ref is useless and dear World Rugby that or whatever. I think, you've got to play the ref on the day, and whatever happens should happen. My word, the coaches were so happy with that try. Just looking at back at there. Durban Nick saying, run it down, boys. Hugh saying, Africa playing England in soccer later. Come on, Senegal. I do agree. Let's go, Senegal. Actually, no, they're playing against England. I'm technically part English, so it's a bit of a difficult one. But yeah, I'm not too phased as to what happens in this World Cup. Marius Lowe's been good today. Something not often said. It's true. But, oh my word, and this kick from the Lions is going to go all the way over. Oh no, so they're going to come all the way back into the Lions half, and Scarlets are going to get a scrum right in the middle of the Lions half there. Not great. Mark Stoney there saying... Well, Albert saying's told you, run them off their feet no matter the card. Yeah, you're not wrong. Mark Sony saying that Tuka residents got to have a real big cabinet for all those man of the match trophies. Yeah. Emmanuel has been exceptional today. I think he will be having that man of the match award. Mark Sony saying that was a low blow. Oh my word. Oh dear. And then, nonetheless, just going back to the rugby here, Scarlets have got a scrum just past the Lions' 10-meter line, right in the middle of the field. Lions going to try and put a scrum they put on earlier, where Nklabakanye just completely obliterated his opponent. Lions look to have a good set on this. Nklabakanye is trying to come through. The scrum's not really moving, and Scarlets take the ball out eventually. Trying to run it up now. There's a bit of space. There's a good tackle there from the Lions. Scarlets with the ball just outside this Lions 22. They're shifting the ball across. Oh, it's a hospital pass. And as a result, Lions managed to get the ball. It's kicked forward by Marius Lowe. There's nobody home. It's going to be a big chase. The ball bounces kindly for the Scarlets player, though. Tries to kick it. It stays infield. It's gone into the Lions 22. It's regathered by Quayne Horn, who's going to opt for a little chip over the top. He's going to chase it himself. It's short. He's going to be able to get there, hopefully. Oh, my word. He's kicked it forward. It's playing football. Oh, no. He's missed the pickup. Oh, no. It's knocked on. But now Scarlets try to counter-attack. And now Scarlets have got a bit of numbers on the wing here. He's trying to go through. It's not made the tackle yet. Lions still not making the tackle. He's trying to pass the ball infield, but it's knocked on eventually. Lions now with the ball. My word. It's end-to-end stuff now. It's broken play of another kind. Eventually, Lions managed to set up the ruck. Warner shifting the ball. It comes to Marius Lowe. He opts to just kick it straight in behind. And it's a good kick, actually. It's duked the Scarlets player a little bit. He's had to walk backwards to try and collect this ball, and you can see the players are tired from this piece of play now. There's just a lot of jogging on the field trying to get past. And Eventually, Klabakanya makes the tackle. Then Yaku Fusaki attempts it, but misses. Oh, my word. These players are very tired right now. Heading to the last couple of seconds of this game. Scarlets with the ball just inside Lions half. That's a big hit from the Lions there. And Klabakanya doing very well there again. He's been great since he's come on. Scarlets trying to shift the ball. They try to find it, but it's an intercept try. Oh, it's intercept pass. Intercepts, I mean. Don't quite know what's happened here. I think there might have been an offsides that the ref was playing for. I think maybe it was a deliberate knock-on by mistake. Don't know what the ref's calling. I think maybe offsides. I think it is an offsides penalty. So yeah, Scarlett's going to put this in the corner. I think perhaps to try and...